2K Sports pregame show.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny Smith is here. Shaquille O'Neal. Big guy right there.
Ow.
Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Atlanta Hawks. Well, for Atlanta, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. And we get to see Paul George tonight. Tremendous all-around player, but Shaq, if you were in George's shoes, what's the one area you might try to improve on?
I think he can get to the line more often because he's a great free throw shooter, and you want to make the most of that, Ernie.
You know what? He's a great playmaker, and he was exceptional before he got to Oklahoma City and before he got injured. So now he's going to just continue that. He's learning to reinvent himself in a different way.
It's time to tip this game off.
Let's tip it off.
Let's go to Kevin Harlan, and let's tip it off.
Live from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 2K Sports proudly brings you the Thunder at the peak at the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. Last outing for Atlanta unsuccessful. The loss to the Charlotte Hornets.
And it's a tough game to lose. I mean, they actually put up a pretty solid effort, I thought. But when you're battling for a road win, even when you play hard, nothing's guaranteed.
Interesting that they looked confident going in, but as the game wore on, I thought the crowd affected their performance down the stretch.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, guys, Paul George has made a reputation as a dynamic two-way player. He said you can dominate a game in so many ways. That's always been my mindset. I just go out there and ball. Kevin, back to you.
Well, you love that versatility, DA. Thank you. Tonight, we'll be seeing a couple of the league's better defenses. What are some of the keys to winning a defensive kind of battle, Doris?
Well, because you know that possessions are going to be fewer than in a typical game, where the pace is going to be slower, then the turnover number becomes all that much more important. Because in a game where pace is not at issue, you can't afford 15, 20 turnovers. It's about valuing the basketball. It's about executing to the greatest degree possible. And sometimes, Kevin, that means going deep into your offensive set. The ball should change sides of the floor, and you should look for a matchup that's favorable. And when you do, that's when you strike.
Now here's Westbrook. A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Young and Bazemore team up in the backcourt. The big men are Collins and Dedmon. And it's Prince in at the small forward position. Westbrook against Young. Westbrook finds Morris. And Morris throws it down.
If you leave someone open around Russell Westbrook, he knows it's his responsibility to find the open guy.
Young dishes to Bazemore. Prince the pass to Bazemore. And Adams sends it back. Westbrook feeling it out a bit. Here's George, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook.
Well, you have to respect the focus of Paul George, not letting the defense alter his shot.
Passes it to Dedmon. Back to Young. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. It's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. Young against Westbrook. On the wing, George. And stolen by Prince. Pass to Young. Got that bucket in no time at all.
And the touch Young has from beyond the arc, he is almost unguardable from there.
Pass to Westbrook. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Right, because otherwise you're going to give up those close range opportunities all night. If you allow the opposition to get into a groove, look out.
The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. And George kicks to Westbrook. And Robertson has it in the corner. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Boy, 4 for 4 to get things started. Must have been a good shoot-around this morning.
Atlanta's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Morris with the block.
Well, the tools, the instincts to do this on a more regular basis are certainly there for Markieff Morris. He gets every bit of that one.
And Greg Paul George, the league leader in steals and deflections in 2018.
And Frank Vogel, who coached him at Indiana, said he always thought PG had Allen Iverson's instincts and Scottie Pippen's body. He's talented enough to disrupt without gambling.
And he knocks down the first one.
I don't think any of us can forget that broken leg Paul George suffered playing for the United States national team in 2014. But what a joy, guys, to see him back and playing at an elite level.
And both free throws good for Paul George. And Doris, you go back to the injury for Paul George. Some moments where you question whether he'd be the same player. Do you think, in your opinion, that factored into his decision to leave Indiana in search of a more competitive situation?
You know what, Kevin, I'm not sure if the injury played a part, but we know unequivocally because Paul George stated it. He wants his legacy to be about winning. And because those peak years for a star player can be fleeting, you have to appreciate the pursuit of just that.
And Morris throws it down.
And not just sustaining the lead, they're adding to it.
Right, and this is precisely what you want to do. Build up the lead and keep the pressure on.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
Well, you think to Steven Adams, and coming out of New Zealand, playing about 1 year at the University of Pittsburgh, now in his 5th season as a starter for the Thunder. And what a pivotal guy he's become for this franchise.
Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Taking a look at Golden State. They hold the first place spot in the conference, just right where they want to be. They've got momentum. And, of course, Oklahoma City, 8.5 games behind them.
And I think for Oklahoma City, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
Yeah, even so, though, I'm sure they're not satisfied just being near the top of the standings. They're going to be looking to make a major push as this season winds down.
Just 2 to shoot. And here's Prince outside. Not going to go that time. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. And Steven Adams, drafted by OKC with the 12th pick in 2013. That draft pick, a centerpiece of the James Harden trade.
And that trade will go down as one of the great conversation pieces of all time, whether or not you could have moved James Harden. But the reality is, where Adams is concerned, they got a two-way big man with incredible athleticism, unbelievable physical strength, and an evolving offensive game. So this is one piece of the trade that you have made great use of.
Now here's Westbrook. 20 points for him last game against Cleveland.
Boy, and defensively, he had them off balance. He was able to come away with 4 steals.
And stolen by Dedmon. Now here's Bazemore. He's covered closely. From 13, the putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
You know, his positioning near the hoop, always to his advantage. Just a terrific job to tip that one back in.
And George kicks to Westbrook. The pass to Morris. To the wing right side. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Offensive rebound. Adams. George with no one around. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Passes it to Young. It's Prince on the wing. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. And here's Young from the arc. It's hauled in by Paul George.
And out of rhythm offensively, but he continues to work at it.
Well, you can see he's sputtering a bit, but he's trying to get going. I do like that he's continuing to be aggressive.
Now Prince. After Markieff Morris's three-pointer that didn't go. Bazemore for three. The rebound by Paul George. Oklahoma City leading by 7. Stolen by Collins. And it's Paul George with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Andre Robertson. Atlanta's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Young against Schroeder. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and they swept this matchup the 2 times they played last year. They held the advantage on paper and on the court.
Well, a year ago, there was a big gap in talent between the two teams. But changes are always made, and we'll see how they match up this time around.
Now, here is Young. 23 points for him the last game against Charlotte.
Gets one to fall, but only his second make in the first 7 attempts.
Westbrook against Young. Westbrook finds Schroeder. Here's the lob to Adams. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Well, simply put it in the vicinity of Steven Adams, and his great hands makes that dunk look easy.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now here's Bazemore. His last outing, he had 8 points. He doesn't hit that one. Good work defensively by Morris.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
When you think about Billy Donovan, to me, he's a guy who values trust and building relationships with players. This guy is not a dictator. He wants to help players grow and develop, and that helps you win.
The Hawks trail by 8. Time call here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Nerlens Noel checks in for Adams. Patterson comes in for Morris, and it's Grant in for Jordan. Herter, he's covered by Westbrook. Lets a floater go, and the layup is up and in. And for Coach Billy Donovan, the process of developing NBA players, Doris, has to be different than it was in college.
Oh, no doubt. At the pro level, many guys are making more money than you are. A lot of them have families. They've already grown into themselves. But to me, he still emphasizes the fact that great relationships with your players is important.
Here's Schroeder. And gets hacked by the D. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on Trae Young. And Greg, certainly the knock on Dennis Schroeder is play on the defensive end.
Nobody questions how effective he is on offense. I just think he has a tendency to take a few too many plays off and too many chances on defense. If he wants to be viewed as a top point guard in this league, he'll need to show some consistency on the defensive end.
That's good from Schroeder.
When you think about the Oklahoma City Thunder, you have to start and end the conversation with the historic regular seasons put on by Russell Westbrook. The one thing you have to wonder, has he taken them as far as he can?
Anderson, he's checked in for Young. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And if you're building a team around Westbrook on paper, Doris, how do you do it?
Well, he's a player, obviously, who needs the basketball in his hands. And if you look at a team like the Rockets, where James Harden is complemented by shooters and a rim runner, you wonder if that's the blueprint for somebody like Russell Westbrook.
Now, here's Schroeder. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Cleveland. Carter against Westbrook. In the corner, it's Patterson. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Anderson outside. And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
Now, Kevin, that's about the length and determination of Justin Anderson. It really makes him a handful to cover in the painted area.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. That free throw good from Anderson. Of course, I'm sure you look at these players, evaluate who could make a possible head coach out of the group I'm watching right now. And I'm sure there are a couple players that come to mind for you.
Well, I think when you just talk basketball intellect, one of the first guys that comes to mind is Rajon Rondo. I mean, his insatiable appetite to watch film, to have complete understanding not only of the sets of his own team, but Rajon Rondo, when he's on the defensive end of the floor, as soon as a play is called, he will repeat it and basically tell the teammates, hey, look for this action here. So Rajon Rondo comes to mind. Someone like Andre Iguodala, who also is someone Steve Kerr has referred to as maybe the smartest player he's ever been around. Now, so much more to coaching than just basketball intellect. You've got to be willing to deal with the egos and things, and do these players want to do that? Who knows?
And it's out of bounds. The Thunder able to retain possession. And a look now at the breakdown between 3-point and 2-point shots attempted here tonight for Atlanta.
They are shooting the lights out from beyond on really limited attempts. So you have to think they ought to feed those hot hands on the perimeter and see if they can keep this thing going.
To the inside. Carter right side. No one near him. Ball's knocked loose.
And they've come out with a take no prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Patterson passes to Schroeder. He kicks it to Westbrook. From beyond the arc. Can't hit that one. And Atlanta will come the other way. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook.
All right, here's a look at stats for Russell Westbrook. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. Putting up about 25 points per game, 8 assists, and over 2.5 steals. He has been terrific throughout, putting up some huge numbers offensively.
Well, and this is exactly who he is, a flat-out scoring machine. You plug him in and let him go to work.
To the inside. The alley-oop layup, very well done. And the Thunder lead by 9.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. From the arc. Can't get it to go. He's taken 2 and missed 2. Felton kicks to Patterson. To the wing right side. Schroeder right side. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
The Hawks trail by 11. Pass to Len. Herter is guarded by Schroeder. Just 5 to shoot. Anderson outside. To stop the drought. That shot off the mark. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. Schroeder kicks to Patterson. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And that one misses.
You know, Kev, I remember when Patrick Patterson was coming out of high school. Major recruiting battle. Every school seemed to want this guy. Duke, Florida, you name it. But the Kentucky Wildcats win again.
Schroeder, left side. No good with the layup.
Well, it looks like he's going to get the easy 2 points, but the defense recovers just in time to effect it.
Russell Westbrook has been leading the charge for Oklahoma City. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We've got more in store for you right after this. You may not remember Vince Carter traded on draft night for his college teammate Antoine Jamison. But he talked about that crazy exchange.
So as I'm sitting back there, he's like, there's been a trade, you know, Toronto Raptors and Golden State make a trade for Antoine James and Vince Carter right there. So our families are sitting right next to each other. So they're fixing the hat, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, here's your hat. All right, give us that hat. Move forward. So it was just the weirdest thing.
The 5th and 6th picks in the draft, both of them went on to great careers.
And draft day trades happen all the time, but being traded for your college teammate, a pick apart, that's pretty unique.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And for the Thunder here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
You love that they're making the offense work, right? Making every single thing they try to do hard.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So for Oklahoma City right now, Grant is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then there's Felton. Then there's...
A power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. Grant finds Patterson. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Carter on the wing. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Bounce pass from Len. Anderson wide open. Off target with his 3.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
That one goes. Count it.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
And stolen by Patterson. Deflects the pass. And there's the call on Felton. That's his first foul. And the Thunder making a switch here. Robertson, he's checked in. Stolen. And the Thunder pushing it up now. Here's Schroeder. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, he went all in there. He embraces the challenge and somehow finishes with the layup.
The Thunder have only one missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
That one misses for Schroeder.
Well, Dennis Schroeder showed he can handle high usage in an offense. Was the first option for the Hawks this past season. Even with defenses keyed in on him, he was able to average right around 20 points.
There's the dish to Noel. 6 to shoot. Schroeder kicks to Noel. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Felton can't get it to go. The Hawks trail by 15. It's Anderson with the drive. Spellman, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
I'll tell you, he gets into terrific post position. The entry feed is right where it needs to be.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Back to Schroeder. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Stolen by Grant. Inside. And it's Schroeder missing.
Well, obviously, it's been an off night for him offensively, but give his teammates credit. They've bailed him out. He's still got time to turn it around.
Oklahoma City leading by 13. Felton dishes to Grant. Now, here's Felton. T right on him. And it's Schroeder in the corner. 4 on the clock. Good work defensively by Carter.
Boy, too much traffic in the lane. Very difficult finish with the defense draped all over him.
Herter, and Anderson has it in the corner. Herter, he's covered by Felton. Down low. The kick out to Anderson. Three-pointer. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Boston. A terrific position for them as they hold up that illustrious top spot, but it's a long season, as we all know. And checking out Atlanta. Quite a few spots down the ladder right now.
And if you look at the Hawks right now, they talked a lot in the preseason about how they wanted to bounce back from last year's disappointment. So far, they look to be on track to do just that.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. With college basketball expanding the three-point arc out to FIBA range, Doris, does that set the table, you think, for the NBA to move its arc, their three-point shooting line, out as well?
I think one of the things that I would like to see, Kevin, is a more unified game across countries, right? We've talked about the NBA and basketball in particular becoming a more global game. I think one thing that I'd really love to see at the lower levels of basketball in the formative stages is young players have to play with a shot clock, because what that forces those players to do is be three-tool players. Under duress of a shot clock, you better be able to put the ball on the deck, make a pass, or take a shot. So I think the more we can normalize a set of international rules, the better basketball is going to be long-term.
Adams' shot is good. Adams has got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
Here's Young. That one good for 2.
You know, fleshing out his attack a little more. Young showing more of a willingness to go in there amongst the trees.
Felton kicks to Morris. Pass to Robertson. Adams down low. Edmonds there. Adams' shot is off.
Boy, a little too casual on the layup. Temporary loss of focus. Not good.
Players going to great lengths to improve their performance and extending their prime years. We're seeing it all over the league. Doris, it amazes me.
I heard a number of LeBron James spending 7 figures a year.
Wow.
That's a 1 in 6 zeros to take care of his body.
No kidding.
Right, making an investment in your future. Understanding nutrition to training to recovery. Listen, you have a limited window, Kevin, to make money with your body if you're a professional athlete. So why you wouldn't want to extend that window as long as possible? You're playing a kid's game for fun, Kevin. Come on, let's lengthen it out if we can.
And stolen by Bazemore. Prince wide open. It's hauled in by George. Oklahoma City leading by 12. Robertson the pass to Adams. And Adams with the slam.
Make no mistake, an intimidating 7-footer. Steven Adams gets the space he needs and finishes with ease.
Bazemore with it. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Young outside. Takes a three. The rebound by Steven Adams. Adams has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Robertson. Dishes to George. Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
I'll tell you, you've got to admire the energy. This guy really wants to put this one away.
Dedman kicks to Prince. Here's Young. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Young's got 13.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Felton finds Morris. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Bazemore. And there's the foul. It's on Steven Adams. That's his first foul. Russell Westbrook's checked in for Oklahoma City. The Hawks trail by 14. Now here's Bazemore. Young outside. There's the triple. Knocks down the 3-ball. 16 points for him.
And this is why Young is so dangerous. He just gets that shot off so fast before the defense can react.
Back to Westbrook. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Young against Westbrook. High arcing shot, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And for Trae Young, it's a little unfair that he's already being compared to Steph Curry.
Scouts are always going to look for comparisons. And I'm not saying Young is Curry, but many of the strengths and weaknesses are similar. The size and athleticism, the insane range, and both have that it factor.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Young.
And I'll tell you, Trae Young, go big or go home. Always gives you 100%, as competitive as they come. And the young fella wants to win so badly, sometimes that emotion really comes out.
And so Young nails them both. And you know, Greg, it's amazing the impact Young makes, especially, of course, on the offensive end.
High-level shot maker, a threat the moment he crosses half court. Instinctive playmaker, just needs to play more within himself and avoid over-dribbling.
Here's Westbrook. Atlanta with the rebound.
Well, the defense trying to get out on him, but he's left with the open shot. He's got to make that one.
For Atlanta, they have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight. And that one falls for Prince.
And looking at Prince's game, you know, he could be the ultimate complementary player. A good shooter, doesn't need a ton of touches, solid enough on defense, and is showing signs of improvement.
That misses, so he splits the free throws. And with Prince, his versatility between forward spots also is an asset to the team.
And when I call Prince a complementary player, I didn't mean it as a slight. It just plays with an approach and style that fits well with any team and any leading scorer. Players like him tend to have a long, productive career in our league.
Young dishes to Prince. Bazemore on the wing. Back to Prince. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Goes up from the top of the key. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Adams has got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Bazemore. No points in the game yet for him. Collins kicks to Prince. Now Bazemore. Collins. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Outside Westbrook. There's the pass to Robertson. In the corner, it's Morris. And a miss there on the triple. The Hawks trail by 10. And here's Bazemore. Kicks to Young. Down low, Collins. Morris with the block.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Here's George. Got a hand on it. And George gets the whistle that time. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2.
Shooting 2.
And that one misses. And when you watch Collins play, Greg, you just can't help but notice how athletic he is going to the rim.
Man, his hang time and ability to throw it down make him an ideal finisher inside. Very efficient because he's not only a strong finisher, but also enjoys attacking the rim. And does a great job, I think, of picking up misses, just being a pest for the defense.
Passes to Robertson. Patterson with it. On the wing, George. Over Prince. No good there off the double clutch. The Hawks trail by 9. Fires top of the key. Misses off the right eye.
Boy, he has been cold for a while now.
Yeah, starting to look like it's taking its toll mentally. He doesn't look like himself.
Patterson can't get it to go.
He definitely got nervous at the rim. I mean, he needs to make sure he finishes strong.
Young taking his time here. To the inside. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
They did a better job of getting it inside in that first. They've lost some of that physical edge here.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Robertson.
One shot.
The free throw drops for Dedmon. Well, Greg, for Atlanta, it was out with the old and in with the new for the point guard position for the Hawks.
And Hawks were able to trade down and still get the guy they want in Young. See him as an impact guard to build around for the future. Had to move Schroeder to free up space for Young, but this team now has a clear core to build around.
After a shaky start, boy, he's found the range. Good second quarter for him.
Schroeder passes to Westbrook. To end the cold streak. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And Russell Westbrook. He is a standard bearer for the Jordan brand with his own signature shoe, Greg. Few players have ever been as competitive as Michael Jordan, but you think Westbrook may be in that conversation.
No doubt about it. The similarities don't end there. The surreal athleticism, the will to dominate, and that fight, finding grudges to motivate them to their highest level. I think there's a kinship in how MJ and Russ approach the game.
The first one falls.
You know what I admire about Russell Westbrook? Were there weaknesses to his game when he came in? No question about it. But his work habits, his desire to excel and improve have turned those weaknesses into strengths. Truly extraordinary.
Noel's checked in for Oklahoma City. Grant comes in for George. He's off on the second. The Oklahoma City Thunder with one of the more rabid fan bases, Doris, in the NBA.
Well, 7 straight seasons of sellouts. There's something about the love affair you find in these small market one sport towns. This is an organization that has the complete and full support of their community.
Takes a 3. It's good from long range. 7 points in the game.
I'll tell you, they're willing to give him that shot, and he takes advantage of it.
6-second difference between shot and game clock. Outside Westbrook. count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Well, you love to see the physical advantages being put to use by Jeremy Grant, just so long on the interior.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
I like how Jeremy Grant continues to work on his game. The jumper is coming along, and he remains an exceptional defensive player.
Schroeder against Young. Over to the wing.
I love that Russell Westbrook tries to be disruptive. His ability to use his speed to contest is a thing of beauty.
So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Oklahoma City out in front. They're up by 5. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident are you that there's nobody that can stay in front of you?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime, and I'm very confident.
That is never a problem for you, Russ. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to you, I guess.
And you.
Not you.
Not him?
You.
Oh, her, for sure.
Them.
Yes.
This is Ernie Johnson. That's Kenny, that's Shaq. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
In that first half, terrific composure from Russell Westbrook. You know he's going to play with emotion, and he's going to try to intimidate you, but his ability to play under control now really makes the difference.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Hawks.
Well, they remind me of Arizona. They were flat defensively. They didn't collapse at the end. They allowed over 50% shooting. I expect them to come out much more aggressive in the second half and try to take the lead early on.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. It's been one outstanding game from Trae Young.
Yeah, what a shot in the arm he gave them in that first half. The 3-ball just kept falling.
Hey, Greg, this guy phenomenal from distance, dropping in 3 after 3 after 3, and the defense has got to make an adjustment.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. And so Young will bring it up for the Hawks. It's a 5-point game. On the court for Atlanta. And it's Prince outside at the 3 with Collins down at the power forward. Young and Bazemore team up in the backcourt. And it's Dedmon in at the 5. Prince kicks to Young. The shot missing. The Thunder leading by 5. Young with the steal. Bazemore with it. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. He dishes it to Young. 6 on the shot clock. Now, here's Dedmon. Adams defending.
Nice timing to get up on that shot.
Boy, you can't ask for better defense, Greg. Excellent work getting right into the grill of the shooter.
Morris right side. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
You see, Markieff Morris to me is a guy I want on my team. He came into the league as a tremendous mid-range shooter, but he understands today's NBA, you need the three-point ball as part of your arsenal, and he's worked to get it. You know he's going to rebound. He's going to defend at a high level. I love Markieff Morris.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
That free throw missing. You're talking about Morris. You need guys on the roster who complement everyone, yet give you consistent production.
Maybe the best attribute of Markieff Morris is the edge he plays with, because when he's engaged, he can give you a level of physicality that's crucial in today's NBA. There's a tough guy attitude that he wears on his sleeve, and I love it.
And Markieff Morris out of Kansas, a spread 4, as they say.
And able to stripe it from anywhere on the floor. A good secondary scorer who can also create his own shot on the block at times.
And Young, here we go. And he comes up with the deuce. Young's got 22 points.
He's smart at using the screen there to just create space. Young, very reliable in that pick and roll.
Westbrook with it. And Young picks him up defensively. Here's Robertson, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Adams. Rebounded by the Hawks. Dedmon's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And there's the call on John Collins. That's foul number 2 for him. The Thunder with the lead. Westbrook kicks to Morris. Westbrook finds Morris. Pass to Adams. And stolen by Dedmon. Here's Bazemore. And off the front iron. And in it goes. Bazemore's got 5.
And you talk about fighting your way back into a game. They've shown a lot of grit in this comeback.
Yeah, to start off with so many mistakes and still now find a way where everything's working, it allows their momentum and confidence to continue to build.
Here's George. That one's off, still out of sync. The Hawks have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Here's Bazemore. That one wide left. And for the Thunder, they're shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Here's Morris. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
Well, he has the frame and the aggressiveness to take on contact. Morris finishing the play and one.
And 6'7" swingman Andre Robertson out of the University of Colorado, one of the league's premier defensive specialists.
And Kevin, there's a reason he started for most of his career, and it has nothing to do with his shooting. Now returning from that ruptured patella tendon, will he regain that elite defensive form? Only time will tell.
1 shot, gentlemen.
Morris no good on the free throw.
What a story for Markieff Morris, taking exactly 1 pick before his twin brother Marcus back in 2011.
Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Westbrook passes to Adams. Back to Westbrook. Just 5 to shoot. Morris kicks to Robertson.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
And it's off from 3-point range. Prince outside. Not going to go that time.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
I'm not sure why he doesn't continue to move the basketball. Would have served that team much better.
Pass to Dedmon. Shoots over Adams. The putback, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Oh, what terrific hustle. He's got a nose for the rebound.
Craig, he's ferocious when the ball goes up. Here's Robertson. He's covered by Bazemore. Adams finds Morris. That's tipped. And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. And a quick look at how Atlanta's schedule shaping up. On Monday, they'll take on Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. And then on Wednesday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards.
And looking at the Mavericks matchup, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with the win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
Russell Westbrook is an elite talent. He knows how to make tough shots.
Well, you think back to a time when people wondered if Westbrook was too aggressive playing with KD. They said Russ was taking too many shots. No questions anymore. Westbrook is the man in OKC.
Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And a change for the Hawks. Carter's checked in.
One shot.
And for Westbrook, winning the MVP and averaging a triple-double for an entire season. Greg, how much does he have left to prove?
Well, it's all about winning. We know Russ can take over a game. We know he can make his teammates better. How much better and how far they get in the playoffs, that's the real question.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. Russell Westbrook really making a difference here.
I think one of the things at the top of the list in this timeout discussion has got to be the amount of room they're giving him to operate. You've got to get more bodies on him to try to disrupt his rhythm.
Now here's Bazemore. He has 5. And there's the pass to Young. He takes the 12-footer and hits. Young's got 4 points this quarter.
An effective multi-dimensional scorer. Young is incredible at turning on the Jets when he's feeling.
Here's Westbrook, and it's good from the elbow. And the Thunder lead by 4.
Well, this is the classic hot hand, right? If he can keep it up, their lead will be safe.
Bazemore passes to Prince. Back to Bazemore. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Young outside.
In the first half, he was on fire from range, but he hasn't knocked one down since.
George finds Morris. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. Now it's a 6-point Thunder lead.
Well, there's the intensity of Morris. Playing angry, finishing through contact. Nice.
In the corner, Bazemore with it. Trains the three-pointer. Bazemore's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Hawks. And it's Felton with the ball for Oklahoma City. He kicks it to Westbrook. 5 on the clock. And the foul on Kent Bazemore. That is his first foul of the game.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Nerlens Noel checks in for Morris. The Hawks making a switch here. The 3 from George. The Thunder with another miss. The Hawks trail by 3. Young outside. Kicks it to Collins. Carter down low, defended by George. Lets it go from 11, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Thunder have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. Westbrook against Young. It's George on the wing. Goes up the baseline. Len grabs the board. Len's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Herter, he's covered by Felton. Oklahoma City's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And here's a look at stats for Adams. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. 5th in field goal percentage, 8th in blocks, and he's among the top 15 in rebounding. Just a powerful presence in the paint.
And yeah, he's such an efficient scorer, understands the offense, moves without the ball so well. That's why he's top 5 in field goal percentage. They throw good, Paul George.
I don't know if it's underplayed, but there's an all-around aspect to what Paul George does on a night-by-night basis. This guy is an elite two-way player.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Grant, he's checked in for Steven Adams, and Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And he makes both free throws.
Well, he's come through for them at the line today, and you love having a big fella who's so capable on his free throws.
Grant against Young. Fades away. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Schroeder against Young. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. But they'll get another chance. Pass to Carter. He nails it, and we're tied up. Carter's got 5 points now this quarter.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
In the corner, it's Felt. 6 to shoot. Grant kicks to George. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. George has got 15 points.
Now, Paul George is a phenomenal catch-and-shoot guy. Measures the shot before receiving the pass. It's hard to guard.
And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. And Oklahoma City making a change here. Westbrook's checked in. Anderson, he's checked in for the Hawks. Ball's knocked loose. And now the fast break. George with the ball. And George with the stuff.
Make no mistake, Nerlens Noel has the kind of length to make that kind of defensive play.
The Hawks trail by 5. Now Young. He's got 24. Spellman drills it from outside. He's got 10.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
Westbrook against Anderson. Westbrook passes to George. The shot comes out, so the Hawks will take it the other way.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Herter up again. It's good on the putback.
Yeah, just a fantastic job to stay with the play and just not give up. Excellent effort on the offensive backboard.
Outside Westbrook. Outside George. Shot clock at 6. Grant, that's good. Grant's got his second basket of the game.
This guy is a high percentage shooter from this particular area. Because he can elevate off the floor, it's nice and efficient.
Anderson kicks to left. Hawks passing it around.
Well, he continues to have trouble with his shot, well below 50% from the field in this period.
And it's Westbrook, that time on the assist by Schroeder. And now a 4-point Oklahoma City lead. 1:58 left in the third quarter of the game. Young with the ball. Now guarded by Schroeder. Anderson's shot is off. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. George. The shot comes out, so the Hawks will take it the other way. Out to the right wing. Down low. Here's Anderson. Makes it off the glass. Anderson's got 5.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
Left side, Westbrook. Gets it to fall, and now he's 10 of 15 on the game.
And that keeps him perfect from the field this quarter.
And here's Young, providing around 26.5 points a game. Rarely has an off night. Andre Robertson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And then for Atlanta, Dwayne Dedman comes in for Young. And it's Taurean Prince in for Anderson. The Thunder leading by 4. Schroeder kicks to Robertson. There's 45 seconds left to play here in the third. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And Atlanta gets called for the foul. Doris, I'm looking at Jeremy Grant, a second-round pick back in 2014 out of Syracuse. The Grant family has produced a number of NBA players. What do you think caused him to slip to the second round?
Well, Jeremy Grant was definitely a young man drafted on potential.
Now, gentlemen,
here we have
shots.
a great athlete whose game is still sort of rounding its way out. He has gotten on the floor in the NBA because of his defense, his ability to run in transition, and I think on the offensive end, there are a number of areas he can improve on. He can become a knockdown mid-range shooter. He can get 8 to 10 points in transition or offensive rebounds. There's a lot to like here, Kevin.
And the Hawks making a change here. Bazemore's checked in. And Grant drops them both. And Jeremy Grant, great genes for the game, Greg. Father was Harvey, uncle was Horace, both NBA players and stars. His brother Jarian also in the association.
Yeah, and Jeremy might be the best athletically of them all. I mean, 6'8" with that 7'3" wingspan, great bounce. If he can develop his skill to match, he'll have a long and prosperous NBA career.
Schroeder, right side. Right side, Westbrook. Shoots over Bazemore. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Herter takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. And now just a 2-point Thunder lead. Here's Schroeder. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. He can't hit that time. Russell Westbrook has been leading the charge for Oklahoma City. And of everything he's doing well, it's his scoring that you point to first. Already 22 points in this game. Right back after this break. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Hold your ground. Don't let him back your way in. Just hold your ground. The other thing, too, is once he picks the ball up, he's not going to shoot it. If he does, just stay down on him.
I like the way the Donovan's conveying that scouting report to his guys.
I mean, knowing how your opponent plays is important, and I think he's on point on this one.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. The 4 and the 5 are Grant and Noel. Russell Westbrook out there with Dennis Schroeder, and it's Robertson in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City.
Boy, certain guys, it's just a rough season, right? For Nerlens Noel last year, that was the case. Couldn't get any consistent playing time. And after looking to be finally on the rise, he takes a step back in his development. It's got to be tough.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And with Noel, it's hard as he turned down a big money long-term deal.
It's always the chance you take, right? If you bet on yourself. And the skill set there for Nerlens Noel, this guy is definitely a great defender. He's just seeking the right opportunity.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Morris is checked in. That's off as well, so he misses both.
And you know, guys, listen, Noel brings value. The reason he's a menace on the defensive end and an absolute warrior on the glass.
Schroeder with the ball. Pass to Robertson. Trying to find Schroeder, gets it to him. And the baseline jumper, no good.
Now, great look on that, just a little out of rhythm.
Yeah, he looked like he forced that a little bit. Just needs to take his time. Got to make these shots right now.
That coverage is just too weak. I mean, heading down the stretch, that sort of defensive lapse can cost you a game.
It's baffling that he's someone they'd leave alone in that situation. You can get away with that early in a game, maybe, but not now.
And it's Grant in the corner. Prince against Noel. Here's Schroeder. Oklahoma City gets it back. Grant dishes to Robertson. Back to Grant. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Morris kicks to Grant. Off target with his three. The Hawks leading. Pass to Prince. All alone. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Schroeder finds Morris. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got assist number 5 here tonight. The Hawks have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the 4th quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. The dish to Prince. Herter, he's guarded by Schroeder. And stolen by Noel. Out to the right wing. And stolen by Prince. Bazemore, no one around him. And it's Noel with the rebound. And it's Schroeder with the ball. He brings it up for Oklahoma City. Grant the pass to Robertson. Back to Grant. 5 to shoot. The pass to Schroeder. It's deflected. And now here's Prince, the fast break opportunity. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Yes, you love that they're not settling for anything outside the paint. Excellent work getting right to the tin.
Steven Adams, he's checked in for Noel. Collins checked in for the Hawks.
And Dwayne Dedmon, a player who started his NBA career late, was a rookie at age 24 and then floated around to several teams. But he has gone from being an end-of-the-bench guy to an important rotation player in just the last few seasons.
Here's Grant. Atlanta with the rebound. Here's Bazemore. And that's Prince, that time on the assist by Bazemore. Bazemore's got his 5th assist in this one. And with Dedmon and the teams he's played with, you know, he always has found a way, Greg, to slot in and give you good minutes.
Yeah, what I love about him, he knows who he is as a player and plays to his strengths. Never gives up on a play on either end of the floor. And now he's even added a 3-point shot to his arsenal to kind of further expand his versatility.
The Thunder with another miss.
Well, he's trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but it's not helping his team. That was an awful quarter.
And finished off by Collins.
Really, really good possession there. They've never lost their focus, even as the game's gotten tight.
You know, a few more possessions like that one, and they can put the finishing touches on this game. They just have to have effective trips like that one.
Schroeder dishes to Morris to stop the run, and Morris throws it down.
Well, this is what you like to see from Morris, being aggressive. Hammer it down with authority, big man.
The Hawks leading by 7. Herter, he's guarded by Schroeder. 2 points. That one goes.
Boy, they are not locked in defensively here in the second half. The intensity and focus haven't been there.
Adams in the high post. A 3 from Morris. That's good again. His 7th basket. 7 for 10 from the floor.
After an ice-cold start to this game, he is pouring it on here in the second half.
Grant against Prince. Fades. It's rebounded by Robertson. Robertson's got 4 rebounds in this game. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Andre Robertson played power forward, Doris, at Colorado. He has slid all the way down to shooting guard in the NBA.
Well, I like that you used the word guarding, because that is why Andre Robertson is in the NBA. He is an elite defensive player. He can guard across multiple positions. And you think about who he's matching up with on a night-by-night basis. Whether it's 1s, 2s, or 3s, this is one of the more disruptive defenders we have ever seen.
The free throw drops for Grant. Young's checked in for Atlanta. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Moment here now for an injury report. And let's get an injury update on Nerlens Noel with David Aldridge.
Hey guys, the Thunder's head athletic trainer gave me an update. He told me that in his opinion, the injury does not appear to be too serious. That is such a tough blow to take at the early stage of this season. Hopefully, with it being early, he can recover and help this team down the road. Kevin?
Well, thank you, David. Hopefully, we'll see him very soon.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Thunder trailing by 7. Grant outside. He kicks to Adams. Back to Grant. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Adams finds Robertson, and he banks in the layup.
Well, Andre Robertson, a little separation on the interior. That's pretty.
And so Young will bring it up for the Hawks. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Dishes it to Prince. Pass to Dedmon. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Young.
I don't know if he's tired or what, but he is definitely holding back a little bit, and he has to step his game up right now.
And stolen by Dedmon. Here's Collins. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
How about the vision from the crafty little guard? Young excels at realizing when his guys have clean looks.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. Without question, Trae Young displaying his skills today.
Well, I think this is a necessary timeout so they can figure out a way to limit the impact this guy's having from three-point range. They've got to dedicate more resources to their perimeter D.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Trae Young.
And I love that it's been a hard-charging performance. Jump shots have been kind of an afterthought. His main goal has been to attack the rim and put the D in some tough spots, and also finishing strong.
Well, he needed a game like this badly. He's been struggling for a while now, but tonight he broke out of that slump in style. It's a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Billy Donovan talking to his team. He warned them they've got to get back in transition. He said they've given up way too many fast break points, and he said we have to slow the pace of the game down and force them into taking some tough shots. Kevin?
And after a scoreless first half, you're starting to see signs of life here in the second.
Fast break, the Hawks. Here's Bazemore. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Robertson's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Down low, and stolen by Dedmon. Stolen by George. That one, no good. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way. Here's Adams. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Listen, there is a touch and a confidence about Steven Adams. If he's in the paint, he will get it done.
Young against Schroeder. Young, right side. Bazemore for three. Buries the long-range jumper. Bazemore's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Hawks. Young against Schroeder. Collins grabs the miss.
Struggling to make shots this quarter and making it hard to catch up.
Prince. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, you know, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
It's good. And the Hawks lead has got down to 11 on the bucket from Paul George.
Nothing you can do there, Kevin. Paul George has all the tools to rise and fire with a hand in his face.
Dedmon kicks it to Bazemore. To the middle. Wants to get it to Collins and does. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Schroeder passes to Robertson. Here's Adams. Rebounded by the Hawks. Dedmon's got his 16th rebound on the night. In the corner, Bazemore with it. They grab their own miss. Collins. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. It's going to go on Markieff Morris.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
And that one falls for Collins. Russell Westbrook in for Dennis Schroeder. Good on both. Now here's George. Kicks it to Robertson. Those three-pointers off the mark.
And they've controlled the boards, and that's a big reason why they're controlling the lead.
The Hawks leading by 15. Now Young. Pass to Bazemore. Westbrook against Young. Collins up top. Clock at 6. Bazemore for three. And the three ball is good. Bazemore's got 13 points now in the quarter.
Just a humongous fourth quarter for him, especially from long range. Just in a groove now, and that tray has been deadly.
I don't know a person who couldn't admire the passion and the energy and the ferocity with which Russell Westbrook plays night after night after night.
Poked away, and as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. A minute 42 left to play in the final quarter. Morris with the block. And George, here we go. And it's George finishing it off.
Kevin, the vertical of Paul George. How good is that?
Unbelievable. There's a minute 34 left in the fourth. The Hawks leading by 14. The pass to Dedmon. George against Prince. When it comes to building confidence, Doris, some people say playing one-on-ones in practice is a huge help. Is that something that you did when you were playing at Providence?
Kevin, I believe this could be the single greatest development tool for any individual player. If you start at the free throw line and play one-on-one against a player who's maybe slightly above your level or certainly at your level, and you limit that one-on-one from the free throw line to 2 dribbles or less, your skill set, I promise you, is going to develop. The other thing I would encourage young players to do is play 3-on-3, because it forces you to move and to cut and to screen and how to do those things properly if you're going to be effective. I love 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. It always helps you when you go back to the 5-on-5.
That's such great advice. Dedman kicks to Prince. Shot clock at 6. Fires from 18. And that one off the back of the rim and in. And the Hawks lead by 16. And it's Westbrook with the ball. He brings it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Man, how high does Westbrook get up on these drives? The defense, no choice but to put him at the stripe.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That's good from Westbrook. He's off on the second. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
Well, how about the opportunistic Jeremy Grant taking it strong on the drive? Love it.
And here is Adams. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.